आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
On the 18th of March 1919, the British government passed the Rowlatt Act, which gave powers to the police to arrest any person without any reason. The formal name of this legislation was Anarchin and Revolutionary Crimes Act of 1919.
The act gave immense power to the colonial administration. Anyone suspected of nationalistic activities could be arrested for 2 years without a trial. The freedom fighters called the act the Black Act, and it triggered outrage across the nation. Gandhiji called for satyagraha against the Rowlatt Act on the 6th of April 1919. The British administration came down heavily upon the people, and on the 13th of April 1919, Jallianwala Bagh massacre took place in Amritsar.
The violence and bloodshed sparked by the Rowlatt Act drew Mahatma Gandhi into the vortex of the freedom movement, and he launched the non-cooperation movement in 1920, opening a new chapter in India's fight for freedom.
We also remember Indian National Army's Colonel Gurbaksh Singh Dhillon, who was born on the 18th of March 1914 near Amritsar, Punjab. Dhillon, along with other soldiers of the Indian National Army, General Shahnawaz Khan and Colonel Prem Kumar Sehgal, was charged with treason and waging war against the British Empire.
Dhillon joined the INA after the fall of Singapore to the Japanese in February 1942. When Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose took command of Azad Hind Fauj in 1944, Dhillon was made the commander of the Nehru Brigade. He was assigned the task of holding the Irrawaddy River in Burma. On 12th of February 1945, the INA defences along Irrawaddy were bombed by the Allied aircraft. Under severe bombardment and assault, the INA nevertheless managed to hold Irrawaddy. The other assault by the British opposite Nongju using motorboats was also repelled by the INA. However, INA could not hold for long in the face of sustained assault, and Dhillon had to eventually withdraw to Pakhang.
Dhillon again was given the task of checking the Allied forces' advance to Chowk Badaun. Dhillon and his soldiers offered the strongest resistance against the British attacks. However, in April 1945, under furious assault from the British tanks and armoured vehicles, INA had to withdraw to Magwe.
As the INA trials of Dhillon, Shahnawaz and Prem Sehgal started, the naval ratings mutiny broke out. The armed forces, which the British used to enforce their authority over India, turned against them. On January the 4th, 1946, Dhillon was released along with Shahnawaz and Prem Sehgal after a long trial. Post his release, Gurbaksh Singh Dhillon spent his life at Shivpuri in Madhya Pradesh, where he passed away peacefully on February the 6th, 2006. We salute the great nationalist.
भेंट तुम्हारी ये जीवन हो, मर मिटने के लिए मगन हो.
We also remember freedom fighter Kunji Lal Dubey, who was born on the 18th of March 1896 in the Narsinghpur district of Madhya Pradesh. Kunji Lal was influenced by freedom fighters Madan Mohan Malviya and N.C. Kelkar when he was studying law in Allahabad University.
Kunji Lal became a member of All India Congress Committee in 1937 and was the secretary of the reception committee during the 1939 Tripuri session of the Congress. In 1941, he was selected for the Satyagraha by Mahatma Gandhi, but was detained by the police and was sentenced to nearly 1 year of imprisonment. On his release in 1942, he participated in the Quit India movement and was jailed again, this time for a period of 2 years. In 1946, he was elected from Jabalpur in the assembly elections.
चाहे जितना भले दमन हो, मर मिटने के लिए मगन हो.
Post-independence, Kunjilal Dubey was actively involved in politics and was selected to be the first Speaker of the Legislative Assembly of Madhya Pradesh. AIR News salutes the great nationalist.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.